I'm Azrael Silver, and I have to talk a bit quieter in this episode rather than the other ones because people are starting to go to bed. But the previous episodes were recorded at maybe around 11, 12-ish, and it is now 9:38, so it's been quite a few hours, and I know the last one ended abruptly, but we finished off halfway through the generation, and so I'm hoping to finish off in this one. Also, that's why the lighting is different. It's because I'm depending on my lamp now rather than the sun. Timetable for school. But I am going to continue now speaking, and I hope what happened before doesn't happen again. I also hope I don't wake anyone up. So first we're going to start off, not wasting any time, with Edgar. This would be the last drawing of Edgar that I'd actually trace, and it's a little darker than I like. Actually, give me a second, I might be able to fix it. That better? That's much better, okay. Anyway, here is Edgar. This is obviously traced off the original default skin Edgar, but this is quick draw Edgar, completely made by me in terms of skin. This, like I said, like Byron, eventually I will go back and redo this one because I feel like the head is too big, and like Colonel Ruff's. So eventually in time this guy will be shown again on here, but just not so soon. But yeah, this guy's got a couple variations of green, particularly swamp green, and then you got the lime greens right there. But it's also a variation of orange and whatnot, and I really like the colors done with this one. Yeah, there's not much to say really about it. There's no cuts on it, it fit all on one page, and it's pretty decent for what it was. I hope this works for you guys. Like, I hope it doesn't bug you too much. But next, we go on to Mythic Brawlers. And you probably already saw if you saw which one I pulled, but the Mythic Brawler chosen was Sprout. Sprout, of course, being a thrower. This is actually one of my favorite ones. I feel like this is just so well done. The design from Draw Anything Animations is just impeccable. And I feel like in my part in this, executed it perfectly, and this just turned out beautiful. I love doing Sprout. Sprout is one of my favorites to do. Unfortunately, Sprout is wider than most of the brawlers, so, because I try and make them all the same height, right? So technically from the wheels to the tip of the leaf is the same height as every other brawler, but that means that their Sprout's very wide, so they don't fit on the whole page. So there is a cut just right here, and that's it. But otherwise, yeah, this is let's see here, maybe two, actually I think 4 separate shades of blue used here on Sprout. And yeah, no, it's just it's really cool. I really enjoy it. I've honestly, looking back at it, I don't know if I would go back and outline these all in pink and white and green, but then colored in blue to make it look like it's behind glass, but I don't know if I'd change that. But yeah, no, I still find this really cool. Once again, credit to Draw Anything Animations for this. It was sick. And I know Draw Anything Animations had a part in a couple more of these. It definitely had a part in this one, which is Tropical Sprout. So yeah, I like the shirt on this one. In my opinion, it's one of my favorites. But yeah, once again, there's just there's a cut right here. Sorry, it's flipped. There's a cut right here, but aside from that, no cuts anywhere else. This one's slightly taller because of the palm tree. But generally, I think this one is really well done again, you know, but aside from that, no differences. I usually keep the same colors because I know I'm going to be doing multiple. So at the end of the day, you know, it's the same shades of blue on the arms and whatnot. It's just integrated red and orange now, and pink, likely from Quick Draw Edgar. So, and then next we have Lunar Sprout, which would conclude our sprouts for the time being, because at that time, Corrupted Sprout hadn't come out yet, nor did the Royal sprouts, the green and the red one, whatever they're called, Prince Sprout, I believe. So those hadn't come out yet, so we ended off on this one because he only had 3 skins at the time. But this one's also primarily white. I think I had to do this one myself, but I could be wrong. This could also be done by Draw Anything animations, so again, take it with a bit of a grain of salt. But this one I think actually is the tallest of the 3. No, it's just barely beaten out by Tropical Sprout. This one comes very close, second place. The cut is right here, but it's still the same width and everything. But yeah, I really like this one. Shades of Blue, it really just focuses on the navy blue, and that's about it. And you can definitely see the quality. See, that's what I'm trying to talk about. I don't know, you can see the passion behind the sprouts and how accurate they look and how well they look compared to some of the others. I think Sprout is one of the easier brawlers to convert to the paper format compared to some of the others. And it shows, it does show. So yeah, there's that. I think it's cool. And that concluded Sprout. And then I decided to wrap up a few more brawlers that I had not finished before. So, for instance, because by this time there was more skins to do, I went back and I did Nita. And so Nita starts off with, obviously traits off the first Nita that I did, True Silver Nita. No cuts, no holes, fits on one page. It's the same thing. And it's, again, no different. And yeah, so, but the problem with doing Nita, and what I hate about doing Nita, is what you'll see in a minute because it doesn't actually come up yet. But I decided to do all the Nitas first to stop subjecting me from the torture too early on, and so I traced that one to do this one, which is True Gold Nita. And it's the same thing, no holes, no cuts, just gold Nita now. Yeah, same height, everything. And then this one, this is one of the taller, if not the tallest Nita I have drawn to date, because I have not drawn Neon Nita. Or Nyan Nita. Isn't there another Nita one that came out? Or is it just Nyan? I can't remember. But Whale Watch Nita. At the time, this was the newest skin for Nita to come out, and so this one is completely made by me. But I went back and I think I actually traced the True Gold, because the True Gold doesn't change anything about the original Nita except for the color, and the color doesn't matter when you're just tracing the actual format. So I used True Gold Nita to make this Nita. But it's definitely the tallest. There's still no cuts on it, which is a good thing, but it's got a couple shades of blue. And I think this is one of the instances where Bruce beats Nita in terms of skin design in the paper style, which you'll see in a minute. But this is paper Whale Watch Nita, and so the hands are in the same place, the smile is the same place, it's just Whale Watch now, which is pretty good. I actually think I messed up on the part here, but I haven't studied the skin in a while, so I couldn't tell you where that was. It might have been something to do with the snorkel, I think, but I'm not too certain. So yeah, but that's all with Nita. And now we go to the torturous part of doing any Nita, and that is doing Bruce. And if you don't know who Bruce is, for those of you who are not the biggest fans of Brawl Stars, or for those of you who are just not caught up on the lore of it, Bruce is Nita's bear that she summons as her super. And the problem with doing Bruce is that he's mainly one color, so unless there's a lot of parts to Bruce, you're pretty much stuck the whole time just drawing the same color the whole way through, which can get extremely boring. And so that was the case when I had to do these, because from the moment I realized I had to do True Gold and Silver everybody, this one and another one that's going to come up eventually were some of the, by far, the, I was not looking forward to it. And Bruce is not one of my favorite Brawl Stars characters to draw, so hopefully that gives a bit of context as to why. He just gets very boring when there's not a lot of detail. But there's a cut right there as there is on every other Bruce. Aside from that, he's the same height, same everything. He's just silver now. And I've already explained him before, so I don't feel like explaining him again. But yeah, no, it's Bruce. Just silver. Next, more boringness, because then we get to true gold Bruce, and it's the same thing, and it was so goddamn boring. Cut, same place, size is the same, everything's the same, except gold. Obviously traced off of true silver to make it. But now we get to Whale Watch Bruce, and Whale Watch Bruce is one of my favorite Bruces I've ever drawn, because this is what I mean, when there's detail and stuff to implement, then it makes it much funner to draw Bruce, and this one was fun. And like I said when I was showing off Whale Watch Nita, I think this is one time that the Bruce, or I don't remember all the other ones, I haven't looked back at them in a while, but this is one of the instances where Bruce actually beats Nita in terms of how I drew them, because I think I did better on Bruce than Nita. But the cut is right here this time because I hadn't flipped it. So it's right there. And yeah, so he's eating fish, he's got the raft thing right there, and he's got the whistle, the flip-flops, and he looks like a shark, and so I think I nailed it. The colors are the same as they were when I did Whale Watch Nita, because obviously I knew I had to do Whale Watch Bruce sometime soon. I just think I think I nailed this one. I think if there's any Bruce that I nailed, it was this one. And I like it. I love it, really. It's one of my favorites. But now we take a dip into territory, because now by this time, Austin had selected his next brawler. And if you know what comes after Mythic, it is Legendary. Who was the Legendary brawler? Is there a fly in here? I'm seeing things. But as the legendary brawler that Austin chose for me to do at the time, the next up in the lineup is Crow. Crow fits on one page, is relatively normal in size, and uses a lot of black, so it was really easy to do him. The only thing is that his beak and his zipper, primarily, although they look good on camera, were hard to convey. Like, even the camera struggles to pick up the chain on his pant leg. But Crow, I had no problems with, but I should mention, this is from Draw Anything Animations, so be sure to check them out, because this is where I got the format for this. However, I should mention, this guy gave me a headache. I had to do so much research to figure out this guy, because he's actually gone through a couple remodels, and so I had to figure out what, version of this I was drawing. And so I finally came to the conclusion that I was drawing the most recent version of Crow, and so that's what I did. And this is the most recent version of Crow. Or I think maybe I had to alter it a bit, I'm not too sure. But after that one, we went, and this one is also from Draw Anything Animations, because I drew this skin, White Crow. So again, this one I didn't have to trace that one to make myself. This one was already made by Draw Anything Animations. But yeah, White Crow looking pretty cool as he does in the game. You got the belt, you got the cool ass shoes, you got the I like the eye. I think it really pops with the red. But yeah, it's just White Crow. I don't know if it's taller by any means. They're the same height and everything, but there's still no cuts or anything like that. So yeah, this is White Crow using 2 different shades of pink. And yeah. But then we move on, and there's a special story to this one, because we actually had to take, I want to do this one as like a special thing. And so I took an intermission from drawing crows. Even though I had only drawn 2 so far, I took an intermission because, as you know, or in case you don't know, each generation is 100. So the generation ends when I reach the point at the top of the mountain, as I call it, which is the finishing point, what solidifies that generation as that number. For instance, generation 1, 100, generation 2, 200. So the whole number corresponds with the generation that it is. And so on my way to finishing Generation 7, which is ending up on 700, the top of the mountain there, you have to go through all the numbers from 600 to 700. One of those numbers is 666. And I knew that number was only going to come up once. And so I thought, hey, I should do something special for this. And so I did. I took the liberties of going online, looking for a little while to find some sort of fan art that would help me with this. And if not, I'd just use a cartoon, but whatever. And so, the game at this time. And so, since I had already drawn Cuphead and Mugman, I drew the devil. And so this is the devil from Cuphead, and he's tall. He's one of the taller ones of this series, but not the tallest. There's a lot of cuts on him. He used a lot of black, which is something I'm not usually a fan of, but I want to make an exception here. So he's got a cut right there, and a cut right there, and a cut nowhere on his foot. Oh, is that a cut right there? That is a cut. Okay, so his main body is on one piece of paper, but there's a cut right there and a cut right there. And then there's a cut going from this leg down to the bottom of him here, down to this leg right here. And then there is a cut, let's see here, down this arm. And so yeah, I drew the devil halfway through because I want to do, this isn't my own thing. I think I found this somewhere, but I don't know where I found it, so I can't give credit to whoever it was, just know that it wasn't me. But yeah, I figured since I had done Cuphead and Mugman, and I love Cuphead, and I intend to eventually do all the bosses from Cuphead, I figured I might as well just do the devil while he's here. I don't think I'll ever redo, do the other devil phases, because frankly, they're just his giant head. But hey, and it's even more relevant because I've watched the Cuphead show, and if you haven't already, the second season just came out. I'm not promoting it. I'm not advertised, sponsored, whatever by the Cuphead show. I just love the Cuphead show. So if you love Cuphead, I recommend you go watch it. It's cool. And, you know, it's prevalent. It's on topic. But yeah, so for 666, this is the 666th drawing I had ever done in this format. And it's for the devil. It's for the devil. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I thoroughly enjoyed that, even if it was all just one color. I thought it was special. I mean, it was a pain to cut out because he has all that pointy edges with the fur, but I had fun with it. And then we resume going to drawing Crow. And so we get Alpha Crow, the first model of Crow. It looks very weird, but this is how Crow looked in the beginning, or this is a rough take on how he looked. And so yeah, you can really see the thing. He's the same height. I traced the default Crow to make this Crow, I think. But yeah, this is him, and it's the same color. Well, it's roughly the same color jacket. Why not? He didn't change too much. It just changed shape. But yeah, no. So that's default Crow, and then given that we're doing that, Crow's first skin also had to be remodeled once. So I did the original model of White Crow, which is literally the exact same with different colored jacket and whatnot. So I just traced that Crow to make this Crow, and it's the exact same, no difference anyway. But yeah, for those of you, a very helpful video helps me to see the different models because it somehow kept track of that, or at least it knew to. So I'll link that video in the description below because it helps me a lot. But yeah, so there's those two. And then we move on to this one. And this one somehow hasn't changed. It's one of the oldest skins in the game that has never really changed in my opinion. Or at least I don't think it ever has. And it's never been remodeled or anything. It's stayed constant since its creation. Which is very hard to say about a lot of skins from, you know, the alpha and the beta and the before full release version of Brawl Stars. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, Phoenix Crow. And this one I believe is also from Draw Anything Animation, so credit to them for this. But yeah, no, he's got the flames on his arms. I love the eyebrows. I love the red eyes. Like I said, I think they pop really well. And yeah, this one is just a tad taller, I believe, than the other Crows. So this one is technically the tallest at the moment. But yeah, no, a lot of yellow. This one was really fun to do. I really enjoy this one. It's pretty cool. I should also mention that when I was drawing these crows, Captain Crow hadn't come out yet, and it goes to show you how much I play Brawl Stars and how much I love Brawl Stars and how much I study it, because I remember the skins that I haven't done. So, there's just that. But now we go to my favorite crow skins to draw, and that is the Mecha skins. This one is from Drawing Thing Animations. Well, they did a lot of the crow skins, so I didn't have to do many of them myself. But this is Mecha Crow, and it is, oh, it looks so good in paper form. I love it to tears. I love drawing it, I loved coloring it, I loved cutting it out, I loved everything about this skin. And I think it actually takes the cake as the tallest, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, yeah, this one's the tallest. And so yeah, there's a Mecha Crow. It's pretty cool. And still no cuts or anything on it, but yeah, this one's just so cool. I cannot sing this one's praises enough. This one definitely works well in the paper style, and huge credit to Drawing Thing Animations for making that work. And so, because it's every other variation of that skin is the exact same as that skin, but just different colors, what I did is I went and I just traced that one to make this one, which is Gold Mecha Crow, which is pretty much true to its name. It's just different shades of colors. There's 2 shades of yellow, and then light orange. So, yeah, no, there's that one. And then there is Night Mecha Crow, which is, hey, let go. And then there's Night Mecha Crow, which is, again, traced off of probably Gold Mecha Crow, because it was the nearest one. And, yeah, same color. Just different orientation of the colors and whatnot. Pretty much a darker one, if Crow mixed with Batman. And Transformers. But then we go to the ones I delayed the longest because they were the most boring to do, as it is with everyone. So you got the True Silver Crow, which is literally just the default Crow traced over. No difference in height, just difference in color. And then there is True Gold Crow, which is, again, the same damn thing. Now, here we get another brawler that I had to go back and do a skin for because I had to, because I had missed one. And that is Saloon 8-Bit. Saloon 8-Bit actually took a lot of work to do. It was one of the ones I struggled with the most because there was just so much organizing that had to go on to make this one look right. And it still fits on one page. There's no cuts or anything anywhere. I actually did mess up on this one. It was so complex and intricate in its design that I actually messed up when drawing the keys. I don't know if it did. Oh, it's on both sides. Yeah, I tried so damn hard to fix this, because I did it on both sides, and it was a huge mistake. So essentially what I did, I don't know if it picks up on the camera, you can kind of see it. What I did is I drew this to this to this, like this whole bottom line here. I drew that yellow. And so what I ended up doing was I traced over the yellow outlines in black to make it look as white as the keys, and then I also erased the yellow as much as I could, and then drew over it with a white pencil crayon, which is not something I do often, nor is anything I think I have to do. But for once in my goddamn life, the white pencil crayon came in handy. And so I did that on both sides. But yeah, it took a lot of time and a lot of effort, and aside from that hiccup, I think this one turned out really well. There's like 3 different shades of brown in here, and just it's really cool. It's really cool. But yeah, this was sketched off the original 8-Bit, obviously, and yeah. Next, if you know the rarity that comes after Legendary, it is Mythic. Mythic are the brawlers that you can get from the Brawl Pass, and then they become Legendary difficulty to get from boxes. So next, from the Mythic brawler that Austin chose, he chose the second ever Mythic brawl, the second ever Chromatic. I meant to say Chromatic. After Legendary, it's Chromatic. The second ever Chromatic brawler, and that is Surge. Now I should tell you a story about this one because Surge actually provided me a struggle. I'm so, especially with Brawl Stars, I'm so fixated on making sure I get it right. And with Surge, if you don't know Surge's mechanics, or at least you need a reminder, Surge in Brawl Stars, his super allows him to evolve. He grows phases. And in those phases, he changes how he looks. And so I thought about it, and I tried to figure out what would be ideal. I thought about doing just the default because it is the default, but then I'm taking away from what he actually becomes. I thought about doing all 4 of them, but I thought that would take too much time, and it did. I thought about doing just the last one, but then I'm taking away from the default skin. And so I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I decided on doing the first phase, the default, which is this one, and the last phase, when he's fully evolved. And that would be how I did Surge. So yeah, this is Surge, taken from Draw Anything Animations, again, so those guys are incredible. And there's a cut right there, but aside from that, there are no cuts. And Surge is just, yeah, he's a plain Transformer dude, not my favorite in the world, but yeah, no, Surge, I believe I was watching, I think I was watching Bryce McQuaid's Walking Dead series, so there's that. I think anyways, I was watching someone play Telltale. But yeah, no, Surge is just about the same height as everyone else, pretty wide though, pretty wide. I don't know if he's wider than Sprout, I have to check that out sometime. But yeah, no, so that is Surge. No hiccups on him. So then I traced him to do his maxed out form, which is this. This is what Surge looks like when you use his super 4 times without dying. This is his maxed out form. So he's got a cut right there, and he's got a cut, oh, he's got a hole filled in right here. But aside from that, he's got a cut right there. See, I made this, so technically Surge is not one of my favorites to draw because I made him complex for myself, because now I have to go, I have to research everything. I have to try and see if there are screenshots or fan-made images or whatnot, anything to get me a depiction of what his final face looks like. But I found it, and so, okay, so there's a cut right here, and there's a cut right there. I should mention that, so. Yeah, but otherwise, it's the same colors, he's the same height and everything. Well, no, this makes him taller, but he's also wider because of the lightsaber thing, but yeah, no, this is Final Phase Surge. And then we get to Mecha Paladin Surge. And this one I had to do myself, so I traced the default skin to make this one, and so there's a cut right there, but aside from that, there's no difference. I never had Mecha Paladin Surge, and quite frankly, it's impossible for me to get Mecha Paladin Surge, but Mecha Paladin Surge. Not much else to say about him. He's not, I don't think he's too significantly taller than regular Surge, and yeah, I would go on to do his maxed out skin. And there's a fun video on this skin, actually. I'll put a link in the description below, but I made a quick video to which I did a head transfusion, because like I said, I have to do research, and I've never had this skin, so I didn't know that this was an actual thing. I thought this was fan-made, and so I drew that head on this body, and then I had to cut it off. So there's actually a cut right there. I had to cut that head off and put this one on, perfectly balancing it. And this is where the paper style allows me some leeway, because you can just connect the black and make it unnoticeable by connecting it with more black. And so I did that, but yeah, there's also a cut right there and a cut right there. Aside from that, the colors are the same. The height is, this is the tallest Surge by far, and oh, that's bent. I gotta look at that after. But yeah, no, he is definitely the widest, he's definitely the tallest of all the Surges. And so, also, I should mention, I know that he doesn't keep his shield out in the final phase. I don't believe he does anyway. But or at least this isn't his full, this one was just a huge squib in general because I had no idea about the character. But I think that his shield is wider, or at least it's not out the full time when he's in his final form, but either way, I left at this because I'd already done a head transfusion. There's no way I can make this side go any wider to his body. I would just have to redo the character in its entirety, but yeah. So I had to make the body, and then I had to add the head, and that was crazy. But yeah, no, that is Mecha Paladin Surge. And then there is, why do you got dust? How do you got dust on you when you piled on your half the things? You DIY Surge. Again, not from Draw Anything Animations. I had to trace the default Surge to make this one. And so there's the cut right there, but he's mainly cardboard, and I tried to play that up as well as I could, but I can only do so much. Yeah, aside from a bit of slight differences, and aside from slight color differences and slight variation in how he's modeled, there's not much difference to him. So there is DIY Surge in his default form, and then there is his maxed out DIY Surge. So obviously cut right there, and then a cut right there, and a hole filled in right there. This one obviously took a bit more effort than just the regular Surge. But yeah, no, I think this might be my favorite of all the Surges that I did, the maxed out one. But I should mention, back when I was talking about Nita, I mentioned that there was a character that I also wouldn't have fun doing the true gold and true silver version of, and that's Surge. Because I screwed myself over without realizing it. Now I have to do true gold, true silver, both default and maxed out Surge, which means 4 slots for 2 characters being drawn the exact same way. That's gonna be boring. I don't enjoy drawing Surge. He's not that fun to draw. And by this time, Kong Surge had not come out yet, so I haven't drawn that one yet. But next, I decided to fix up a brawler that I had not finished before, and a new skin had come out for, and so I drew Lantern Sandy, given, I was in the higher rarity brawlers anyway. So there's Lantern Sandy traced off of regular Sandy, or default Sandy I should mention. And there's a cut right there because this is the tallest Sandy that exists. And yeah, that was it for Sandy. That's I like the purple. I think this is my favorite one that I drew. It's just pretty cool. But aside from that, no different. I try to keep the colors on the same, especially on like the skin and everything, to make it look constant. But yeah. And then we move on back to Trophy Road. Now that we've done the chromatic, we go back down the list to the very bottom. And Austin, for that one, chose Ems, the Visco girl. Ems has got a lot of, holes to her, obviously, but aside from that, she is basically just a combination of pink and purple, which I really enjoy. This model is also from Draw Anything Animation, so thank you to them for that. Go check them out, yada yada. Same height as every other brawler. But nothing I've seen before. I think it's decent, just not terrible. And so that's M's. And now we move on to these bland ones. We got the true silver M's, because M's didn't have that many skins at the time, and then we go to true gold M's, because M's didn't have many skins at the time, and also these are just the exact same as the first one I showed you. But now we move on to this one, which is literally the exact same, aside from a few changes to her dress, and that is College M's, or whatever her name is, high school or university M's. I think it's College M's. Basically, yeah, this is all she is now. But yeah, so there's that one done, and then we move on to this one, and this one took a bit of time to do, but aside from that, it wasn't much different. Super Fan M's. So that's pretty cool. We got the 8-bit pack right there, the Sparky thing, the tick helmet, hat, and yeah, not that much different. Though I should mention that by this time DJ 3MZ had not come out yet, so I have not drawn that one yet, because it just released not that long ago, like maybe a week or so ago, as of recording this. So yeah, that one, that's one that I gotta do eventually. But next we go on to something that I remembered to do little while back. But I took a screenshot because I was watching Prosifia Games play through Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. And so in the final fight, or one of the final fights with Dark Bowser, he has what's known on the Mario Wiki as Dark Minions. One of those Dark Minions is a Bullet Bill, so I went back, found the Bullet Bill from the previous generation, and I drew the Dark Bullet Bill. Same height and everything, it's just now he's the dark blue, and he's got like cyan hands, and his eye is red. Not much different aside from that, but I want to make sure that I got it right, so that is the Dark Bullet Bill. Just kind of randomly thrown in there, cleaning up other guys I had forgotten to do stuff for, and yeah, so just being thorough, you know, I decided to do this one, so that is the Dark Bullet Bill. And we're coming towards the last few here, but next is another one that I forgot to do, one that I didn't realize, and then I believe this guy is in Sonic X, or I don't remember how I found this guy, but it's a variation of Knuckles, and that I probably should have looked up because I don't remember what his name is at the moment anymore. I believe it's Metal Knuckles, but I could be wrong. But yeah, no, this is like a robotic, animatronic Metal Knuckles. He's got red eyes, his hair is all silver and in pieces, he's got a jet thing like Metal Sonic does, and yeah, I forget where I found this guy, and I forget what his name is, but I found him, figured, hey, I still got him to do, so I'll just quickly clean that up so I can truly wrap up that generation, and yeah. Same height as Knuckles and everything, he's no different. But now we move on to this character. This character is a bit weird, it doesn't even have a name, but this is just a character that I decided to do because I had seen her before, and I figured, what the hell? I'll do it for laughs, I'll do it for gags, see how the internet reacts, assuming they know where this character is from, just because I figured, hey, why not? I wanted to see, especially like years from now, I want to see if I will send the internet into a awry with speculation as to weird things about me, if they know where this character is from. So, assuming anyone knows where this character is from, I hope you have a hell of a time with your fan theories, but I saw this character, I saw that anime, I forget how I stumbled upon that animation, it was really weird. I think I don't even remember what I was doing. I think I was just searching for like something obscure, something like weird, and you know how weird the internet can get, so I just went down a dark tunnel and I landed there and I saw that animation, and I figured, hey, that's something that not many people are going to know about, but if they do know about it, the internet's going to go crazy, so I'll draw her. And so I did draw her, and here she is. This is her. And I took a Sonic character, I don't know which Sonic character, but I took a Sonic character to make this one, so that's why it's right after the Knuckles, and yeah, it's got a cut right there and a cut right there, and aside from that, no cuts anywhere. But yeah, doesn't even have a name, just put her out there, drew her. I want to see what happens eventually. I want to see if anyone's crazy enough to search this up. I'm just so cute because I know the internet can be such a wild place, and I want to make it as crazy as possible. But that's the only time I've ever done that, and I don't want to make people think I'm weird like that, so please don't take it out of context, although that was literally just contradicting everything I just said about that character. But hey, then we return to Brawl Stars, to which I do another brawler, and that's how I ended off. I ended off peacefully on this brawler, and this one I think turned out very well in terms of, 3D model to paper. The colors work, everything is just great. And so there is Rosa. I've done, by this point I had done Poco, by this point I had done El Primo. So this is Rosa, and as you know, there are only 4 rare brawlers in the game, so there was one more to do after this, and that was it. But Rosa, picked by Austin again, model from Drawing Thing Animations, so props to them for that. She's holding up her fisticuffs with a couple, maybe 3-4 shades of purple, different shades of purple. But yeah, no, I really like this one. I think it turned out swell. And same height as all the other ones. Not that much different otherwise. But yeah, no, this one was fun. I enjoyed drawing this brawler, Rosa. And so next up I did this Rosa, which had just come out at the time, or at least was still like a really new skin, one of the newest ones. But this is Beach Party Rosa, Summer Party Rosa, some kind of Rosa having a party. All I know is that her animation dances a lot. I think I have the skin, but I'm not too certain. So this is her. The colors, especially on the glasses, are some of my favorite stuff. The hair, I think, is my favorite thing about this skin when I drew it. But aside from that, there's a couple of different shades of brown on here because the coconuts had to be separated from her body. And I'm talking about these coconuts, these two right here. But aside from that, yeah, no, this one was traced off of that one to make it. This is not from Drawing Thing Animations. This is my own creation based off their thing. Yeah. I think the colors are very vibrant. I think they work very well. And so with that, I went back and I drew this one. Again, another one made strictly by me, not by Drawing Thing Animations, but using the default Rosa model. I made Brawloween Rosa. And this skin I've always had mixed feelings about, both in-game and here, but yeah, same height. I think the dancing, the crazy hair Beach Rosa is the tallest one of the three. This one, I tried to do justice by, it's got a skeleton and all that. I tried to make it look good as much as possible. So I got the roses, whatnot, which I left simple, the skull, mask, whatnot, I don't know. It's pretty much the same thing, but still at the same time different, and so I thought this was cool. But I didn't want to leave it there because I wanted to continue doing Rosa in a way, because I knew there was another component to Rosa, and so with that, I looked hard at Drawing Thing Animations, and I found that they had this little guy, or I found this picture online from somebody, I don't remember who, and so this is not my creation, but a paper sprout thing, or the thing that sits on the back of Rosa that gives her her super. That's this guy. And so I drew the little potted plant because it's technically its own character, or at least I count it as its own character, so there it is. It's like three different shades of pink, and so it's just all charming and happy and smiling, and I think it's cute. Yeah, it's pretty cute. It definitely fits on one page. But with that, I traced it in the exact order that I did the Rosa skins. So there comes the Angry Coconut version, which I think is my favorite of the three of them. And so, yeah, this one is this one was pretty cool. I like the anger face on it. It's taller than the other two. But then there's this one, and this one I didn't try too hard on, but still, it gets the point across. It's the Brawloween Rosa sprout thing, and same thing, I just traced it. And yeah, apparently when I was drawing this, I was a stranger to an eraser, because there were just pencil lines all over the head of this one, which is weird. But yeah, that concluded Rosa, and I had a few more spaces left, so I cut up on Colt, so we're going to be very quick about this one. But True Silver Colt, obviously I went back and traced off the original to make this one. There you go, same height and everything. True Gold Colt, same, everything. Also, I should mention that Major Rosa hadn't come out by this time, and Mantis Rosa hadn't come out by this time, so I hadn't drawn either of those yet. And then we got the soccer skins for Colt, and I don't remember the names of these, so please don't be offended. But we got this one, whatever this one was. I did this one first because it seemed like the simplest and also the easiest, and also the one that I decided to do first. I traced the True Gold Colt to make this one, and then I traced that one to make the rest of them. So we got, let's see here, we got this white and red one, which is pretty decent. Got that, same height and everything. And then we got the yellow one, not bad, same height. everything like that, whatever. And then we got the green one. Not bad, the height, everything same. And yeah, just like that, we have wrapped up. I know I kind of rushed through the last few, and I feel like I rushed through a lot of the skins towards the end there, and I apologize for that. But a lot of them are repetitions, so I felt it necessary to not bore you guys with the details of depicting each one. But by this time, Shark Fin Colt had not come out yet, so I haven't drawn that one. But yeah, so that was all of them. That was the 7th generation in its entirety. Please, if you're still here and you watch this and you enjoy this, let me know in the comments below which of my drawings have this entire generation was your favorite. And if you watched all of them for some reason, by all means, in the comments down below, tell me which generation was your favorite, or if anyone from this generation beat your favorite from previous generations. You do you. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, assuming you watched this far, assuming you're even watching this right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. That has been Generation 7, finished. I don't even remember when I finished it. The date will be around here somewhere. Generation 8 is also finished, so I could do a video on that one, and maybe I will. We'll see. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I'm Master Silver. Like, comment, subscribe for more of this. More gaming, more vlogs, whatever else comes, I'll see you very, very soon. Hope you guys enjoy this. And thank you so much for watching. Later, guys.